his story, as far as I remember, you see, when he carried some meditation, some local poor Indian children, you see, because of the picking,
Scavenging garbage.
garbage. Huh? So he very much moved. Then he determined to organize at least some facility for education. That's the start. So he, one simple monk who voluntarily start that work. So then it is our responsibility to help. So now, at present, how many students? Ah. 333. 33. Oh, 333. So we human beings, we have this special brain. So in order to further develop this special brain, education is very important. At the same time, the education is combined with selfish anger, fear, then the education creates more problem. The individual himself or herself also, that education, knowledge, not necessarily bring inner peace. It's too much doubt, too much desire, like that. So, education, brain development should combine with warm-heartedness. Then education combined with sincere motivation. That's India's, it's a 1,000-year-old India's tradition of karuna, compassion. So these two things, brain and warm-heartedness combined, then individual himself or herself also being more happier, more calm person. And such person, wherever they live, their family also get benefit. Happy family. Then happy community. One family, 10 family, 100 family, that's community. So happier community. I always telling people, among three ancient civilizations, Egyptian civilization, and Chinese civilization, and then Indus Valley civilization. Eventually, the Indus Valley civilization, I think, really developed immensely. So India's tradition, India's civilization, this India's civilization, I think over 3,000 years, you see, not only thinking about external things, but also you see already thinking about mind, emotion. So concept of ahimsa developed, and concept of karuna developed in this country over 3,000 years. So then Buddha, Shakyamuni, himself product of Indian civilization. His main teaching, combination, ahimsa, karuna. Then one further development in Buddhist tradition, the concept about the philosophical field, then much developed. So now these days, as far as I never state Buddhism is best. I never state. Like medicine, we can't say pick one medicine. This is best medicine. We can't say. Judging according the patient's condition, then we can say this case, this medicine is best. Otherwise, generally we can't say one medicine is best medicine. So similarly, religion is according to different mental disposition. There is some religion very helpful, some religion may not. Therefore, these things must depend on the individual mental disposition. Meantime, Buddha Dharma, one of important Indian tradition, Indian religion, Buddhism. Buddha himself Indian. Then Nagarjuna, Arya Asanga, Dignath, Dharmakirti, Buddhapalita, Chandrakirti, all these Nalanda master, all are Indian. So I usually describe Indian brain is something special. So there's the ancient India. India, I think, produced most greatest thinkers, philosopher, and a logician. One my friend, Karsa,
Raja Ramana.
Ka,
Raja Ramana.
Raja Ramana. You see, he once told me the quantum physics in the West, something new concept. In India, over 2,000 years already developed quantum physics. It is very true. When I discuss with quantum physicists, modern scientists, the subject very familiar to us. You see, we study all these different concepts. They're mainly, you see, all Indian different philosophy is to analyze the reality. So then usually we call truth. Correct.
Conventional truth and ultimate truth.
Oh, so conventional appearances. It is the reality. Further investigate, you can't find. So, quantum physicists, they say there is big differences, appearances and reality. Reality, just a mere, designated, not independent existence from object side. That's quantum physics say. So, Nalanda tradition also is exactly mentioned that. So, you Indian, you should proud be Indian. India, I think we can make, you see, ancient India, modern India more westernized. Isn't it? Ancient India, a lot of knowledge about philosophical field, and also you see, try to know the reality not through faith, but through reasoning, logical approach. So, like Dignath, Dharmakirti, these Indian master, great logician. And Nagarjuna also, you see, he rejected some Buddha's own teaching because you see, Buddha taught according certain, teach some sort of teaching according the group of people who have some different mental disposition. He taught accordingly. So these Nagarjunas and the Chatakirti, they say this Buddha's word we cannot accept because it goes against the reason experiment. So Buddha himself, you see, told us, "O my follower, monks, scholars should not accept my teaching out of faith and out of devotion, but rather thorough investigation and experiment." So, the Buddhist tradition, which mainly, particularly this is started by Nagarjuna and these Nalanda master, very scientific. So today, I think according to my own experience, about 40 years I have serious discussion with modern scientists. It becomes very clear. More discussion, it becomes something mutual learning. We also learn something from modern scientific finding. And scientists also, you see, appreciate very much about ancient Buddhist psychology and Buddhist philosophy. Nothing exists as appears, these things. Like that. So therefore, recently, some university in China, they
They have access to
some publication which we made here. For example, Buddhist science and modern science. In China, in the public level, you cannot find. But some academic university, they have sometimes to say can receive, can keep these books. So some Chinese professors of some university, after they saw that book, you see, they describe Buddhism is a very scientific religion, they say. So it is quite true. So therefore, all these thought, ancient Indian thought, during British sort of occupation India, of course, a lot of sort of technology and railway or these things British is built, wonderful. And meantime, the education which introduced by British according the Western education. In the West, the religion, moral principle related with religion, then faith, God. So simply, totally relying on God, Creator, faith. So they do not know how to develop our mental sort of problem, only through prayer. No knowledge how to train. Whereas India, over 3,000 years, concept of shamatha, meditation. and vipassana, analytical meditation. Over 3,000 years already developed here. So modern India, some way, neglected, these things. So now my commitment is try to revival of these ancient Indian knowledge and combine ancient Indian knowledge which related with our mind, our emotion, which very important for inner peace. Then plus modern education, development of material and science and technology. That also very, very helpful. So India can combine these two things, modern education and ancient Indian education about how to tackle our emotion. So logically, obviously, all human beings, including leaders, do not want problem. But many problems are our own creation. Why? Too much emotion. So therefore, I think India's tradition, knowledge, how to tackle our destructive emotion is, although it starts from this country, but it's relevant whole world. And that also the Indian tradition, secular way, not based on religion, religious faith, different religion, or even, non-believer. That's individual matter. But as far as peace of mind, it's a matter for humanity, isn't it? So, young Indian student, please think, more, these things. And then I feel Indian tradition have great potential to bring peaceful world. Mahatma Gandhi ji in 20th century, India struggle through ahimsa, non-violence. Gandhi ji, I think, a wonderful person. Now these great sort of concept, non-violence, must combine with quantum physics, these things. Then the 1,000-year-old India's tradition really can help world to bring peaceful world, happy world. So you, young Indian, you have, I think, great opportunity and great sort of potential, and similarly, you have great responsibility. Okay. So think this way. And our Tong-Len meaning is whatever you have some positive thing, give other. And take others' suffering. Very, very helpful. Very helpful. Some sort of demonstration after 59, recent decades. When I heard that, I really, reminds 59 event. So I feel, now suppression, killing, too much suffering. And then at that moment, at that time, I visualize some of the Chinese leaders who took these sort of policy or method. I visualize them and take their anger, their suspicion to myself, and I gave patience, compassion, give it. Of course, the practical level, nothing happened. But my own mental level, it truly brings peace of mind and get inner strength. So like that. So therefore, the Tong-Len, very useful. One occasion in Bodh Gaya, Bihar, one occasion I developed some problem, stomach problem. So then I went to Patna, lot of pain. But then I remember, I think it's right. I
reflected.
I tried. You see, when I enter Patna city, one old person, definitely it looks ill person. Because of that. Sick person. Nobody taking care. Then, after I reach Patna hospital, no hospital, hotel, and some pain, and then think, that old person, same sort of sick person, but no one taking care. And then I visualize, this is some of his sort of pain, his illness. It's immense help. So the practice of Tong-Len truly bring inner strength. With inner strength, then individual problem, you do not feel much. That's way can keep peace of mind. Okay. Yes, now, what do you want to say? Sit. No need formality. Just.
Your Holiness, Pranam, Touchtale, and a very happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
We would like to recite a stanza as a prayer for you. The first para is Indian tradition and purifying of word, mind, body and speech. The second stanza is a Tibetan prayer which is translated in English.
Thank you.
Your Holiness, you are our greatest teacher. You are our Savior, and you are our guide. Your vision and philosophy philosophy of secular ethics empower and inspire us to become a good and responsible human being. We commit to live by your philosophy and your vision.
I usually describe myself, firstly, my physical, not Indian, Tibetan, but my every part of my brain fulfilled Indian thought. So, anyway, mentally, I am more Indian than those modern Indian. So I really experience this ancient Indian thought, mainly, as I mentioned earlier, non-violence and compassion. These are very, very relevant to today's world. One individual human being, these ancient Indian thought, really immense help to keep peace of mind, particularly when I facing some problems, some difficulties. These ancient Indian thought, immense help to keep calm, not disturb. So my now latest commitment is try to, as I already mentioned, revival of this ancient Indian knowledge. So you, student of Tong-Len, you should be, say, my comrade to bring ancient Indian knowledge and combine modern education and the ancient Indian thought. Then I think in this country, not too late for revival of these ancient knowledge. I notice number of Indian now showing interest about, you see, these ancient Indian knowledge and appreciate, you see, my sort of explanation, my thinking. So, as I already mentioned, the world need this knowledge. So, I am now 84-year-old. Perhaps next 10 years, 94. 15 years, around 100. I may live about 100 years. Okay. So in any way, so I'm old. So this concept, now you, younger generation, you should carry this work. And after me, you should sort of carry this thought and introduce next generation. We are 21st century. Now you should carry the responsibility to introduce 22nd century. And that generation, again, you see, carry these thought and introduce generation of 23rd century. That's the way. Since Buddha come, 2000 years passed. But Buddha no longer there. But his concept still there. So we Tibetan, so number of Tibetan institution truly carry, study these Nalanda masters' thought at least 20 years in order to become fairly good scholar. In the past, in Tibet, 20-30 years study. So So like that, so through study and meantime practice, that's the way to preserve Buddha Dharma. So my thought, these things, you see, for humanity, for world, one of my dream is this world, more compassionate world, and then demilitarized world. It is possible. Firstly, inner disarmament, no longer anger, fear, more compassion, forgiveness. So that's the way to bring inner disarmament, then external disarmament. So I think then that's the truly practice of ahimsa. With weapon and ahimsa, a contradiction. Isn't it? Like that. So, thank you.
Your Holiness, we are senior students and staff of Tong-Len and representatives from the slum communities. We are here to express our gratitude for your philosophy and support, and on the occasion of your birthday to wish you a long life. We were born in the slums. We had no basic resources, no rights, no respect. We had little or no food. Some of us were close to death. Some of our friends passed away due to simple disease, lack of medical care, and exposure to the elements. Our friends and families are still living with these difficulties. Your philosophy of kindness and compassion inspired a monk to create Tong-Len. Supported by you and the Dalai Lama Trust, Tong-Len rescued us. We have been given healthcare, food, shelter, and education. Because of your support, 333 children are transforming their lives. We used to beg and pick through rubbish, but through the support of your and Tong-Len, we have reached amazing feats such as completing tertiary degrees. We are grateful to you for your kindness, compassion, inspiration, and vision. We are grateful to Tong-Len for seeing our needs and giving us hope and a future. We are example of a change. Your Holiness, your vision of secular ethics has transformed our way of thinking and inspired us to be a good human beings. Study through secular ethics has helped us to learn about our common humanity and how important respect for all is. The Tong-Len family is a diverse group, and all people within our community are equally respected, no matter of religion, caste, or gender. This concept has empowered us. We have self-acceptance, emotional maturity, tolerance, and the courage to hold our heads up. The children of Tong-Len have a positive future and would like to say a heartfelt thank you. Your vision of a global community is a gift to our generation, and we feel a responsibility to spread the concepts and philosophy to the whole community. Under the support of the Dalai Lama Trust, we work in the community to develop an ethical society through education and awareness. Through our kindness projects, we hope to make Dharamsala a kind city. We are also working in the slums to help with hygiene, education, and shelter. The children of Tong-Len are committed to live through your vision to take on universal responsibilities and reduce social issues. On the occasion of your birthday, on behalf of the slum communities in Kangda Valley, Tong-Len children and staff, we wish to present you this memento to express our gratitude for your inspiration and your undying commitment to making the world a better and harmonious place. For the support your Holiness has given us to break the cycle of poverty and giving us hope and a future. We wish Your Holiness a long life to reduce poverty in the world and to create health and happiness for all the humanity, and that your vision of the world, harmony and compassion becomes a reality.
Thank you. I very much moved. Thank you.
Okay. Ready?
Thank you. Tong-Len.
Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.